welcome to One Girl in All the World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube and Instagram, with new episodes on Tuesdays. Yeah.
Hey.
All right. So we're in Triangle. I'm trying to think why the episode is called Triangle.
Because of Xander and Willow and Anya?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It makes sense.
It doesn't have to be a love triangle.
True. Okay, that makes sense. I'm here for that.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm assuming.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of Anya and Willow in this episode.
Yeah. And their shenanigans.
Oh my God. So high school.
I love to rewatch this episode. I just think it's a well-contained episode.
Okay, this is funny because this is why I was wondering what your steak rating was, because I did not like this episode at all.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, what is this? A palate cleanser?
Yeah, kind of.
So funny.
All right. Well, the air date was January 9th, 2022. Oh my. January 9th, 2001. Written by Jane Epstein and directed by Christopher Hibbler. And the synopsis is, while Buffy recovers from losing Riley, emotions are charged between Willow and Anya, and they are left in charge of the magic box. Magic box. And Willow accidentally conjures an enormous troll that will force them to deal with their less than perfect friendship and their feelings towards Xander.
See? Triangle.
Yeah. All right. So we start out at Xander's, and Anya and Xander are in bed, and he's like, I just remembered that something's been bothering me, and it was that I needed to give Riley this wrench, and he asked me to borrow it, and I forgot. So I'm like, oh man, I keep thinking I have to give it to him, but he's gone. And Anya's like, if you ever leave me like that, I want a big warning. I want to see the warning signs coming from a mile away if you're ever gonna leave me. And then Anya's like, maybe it's her. And they're like, yeah, well, there is a lot of okay. Buffy is not even 20 years old.
Yeah, what do you want her to find the love of her life?
She's had two boyfriends.
Two serious relationships.
Why, they're like, yeah, I mean, oh yeah, her numbers are getting up there. Xander has had more bad ending relationships than Buffy has.
That's actually true.
So I don't understand.
And I mean, Anya, hello. I'm assuming she's had a fair amount of relationships over her years.
So I don't understand.
Look at this troll person.
Why Buffy, why they're saying this about Buffy. It's just so weird.
They're jerks.
Why is it a big deal?
Also, Riley did give her a warning that he was leaving. So.
Yeah. I guess. And he's like, oh, I wonder how she's dealing with it all. So we go to a convent. Where Buffy, the nuns are running around screaming. There's a vampire. Buffy's there and stakes a vampire. And it's helping the nun up. Are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, so is this whole no men thing working out for you? How you liking it? And she's like, good.
It's okay.
How's the food here? She's thinking about maybe joining in the ranks. She's like, do you have to be super religious?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so let me go to the credits. I love that scene. That seems so funny.
Was pretty cute, yeah.
And we go to the magic box where Buffy is training with Giles, and he says he's going to go to, we find out that he's going to go to England to talk to the council about Glory. Because they still have, the key.
Yes, right, the key.
Because they still have nothing on her.
Yeah.
And they know, Giles they have this, huge library with so many more resources than Giles has at the magic box. So he's going to go and try to find out what's up with Glory. And they talk about how they won't mention Dawn. He needs to say about the key because it's an important part of what Glory's after, but he won't tell them about Dawn because she's really worried. If they know it's Dawn, that they'll come take her or something.
Yeah, but Buffy's really hesitant about it.
Yeah. She doesn't trust the council anyway, regardless.
No,
so
why would she? They suck.
Yeah. So she doesn't want to trust them with her sister for sure. And then later in the magic box, Giles says he's leaving for a week, and Anya's basically going to look after the store, even though he's hesitant about her interfacing with customers.
Boy, is she excited about that.
Yeah. But Willow's like, we'll help. Don't worry. We'll handle the customers.
Anya's like, I don't want help.
Yeah, and Anya and Willow
need your help.
Start having arguments again, and Xander again kind of has to be the referee between them, like we saw in last episode.
And Giles seems a little nervous about leaving. No, I don't blame him.
Yeah. Yeah, and he should have been nervous about leaving. So at Buffy's, Joyce is recovering, and she's like gotten changed out of her like robe. So
Real
she's like
close.
starting to, she's got a nice little scarf on her head. Very fashionable. And then Buffy and Dawn go into her room, and Dawn notices that Buffy took Riley's pictures down out of her room. And Dawn says it seemed like it was so fast that he left. And Buffy says, well, according to everyone but me, it was pretty gradual.
Yeah.
So, and she's just saying like how it's going to get better, but it's really, really bad right now. And that, who knows, maybe he'll come back and want to try again someday or something. But yeah. So, but she's like, it'll be okay. But she's hurting.
Yeah.
So then we go to Spike's crypt, where he has a box of chocolates.
Wow, this is very unlike Spike.
Yeah, and he is practicing apologizing to Buffy for taking her to see Riley.
He wants to woo her.
Yeah, and he's like, feels bad. And he thinks that she already hates him, but because of that. Like, hates him even more because he outed Riley. And so he
sucks at this. He sucks at apologizing.
He loses his temper. So he's like, it's not my fault that he was cheating on you and doing this and everything. And because Spike's not a cheater. He's many things.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like cheat on.
But he's been cheated on.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Poor guy.
So and then he like farts. He starts thinking like Buffy's gonna like say this back to him or whatever, and he starts fighting with the mannequin. And then he beats the mannequin with the box of chocolates, and it all falls over, and the chocolates go flying.
He just takes a second, and then
he's like, "Okay, I lost my temper." He picks it back up, starts poking the chocolates back in
place,
and starts again. He's gonna get this right. He's gonna stay calm when he apologizes to her with these chocolates. Oh God, it cracks me up. So at the magic box, Willow is there, Tara is there, and then Anya's manning the store. Mm-hmm. So Willow and Tara are talking about we get a little Amy mention, which we haven't heard about Amy in a while, or seen Amy in a while, that Willow's still trying to get Amy back to being human. But she's telling Tara about a spell that didn't work. But she's still trying. She hasn't forgot about Amy. And they're using they're doing a potion, a spell. They're using potions and ingredients to do a spell that Buffy can use. Like at night, if there's like a big nest of vampires, she can just like throw sunshine, and it would just obviously wipe out the vampires.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So Anya is mad that they're using the ingredients and stuff, and they're not paying for them.
Which is fair, honestly. I think this is a fair point.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
And this is why. If they were like doing it for their own whatever, like if it was like, to like clean my room or something for myself, this is like Scooby work.
Okay. That's fair.
In my opinion. So Giles should be like, yeah, if this can like kill vampires, and Giles probably would say it's okay. I don't know. Okay. But
that's what I tried to wonder. Like, would Giles be okay with it? You're probably right. He would be fine with it.
Because this is like Scooby work. This isn't them just being like, oh, can we make flowers grow everywhere? You know what I mean? Like this is Scooby work. Serious. So in my opinion, I think they're in the right doing the spell.
And then they start talking about how Anya's like the fish in the bowl and the cat in the hat.
Yeah, like, oh, mother's away. You shouldn't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Which Anya is very annoyed because she doesn't understand this reference.
Yep. And she says they're stealing.
Yeah, they're stealing. And I like when Willow's like, we're just taking things without paying for them. And what twisted dictionary is that stealing? So they start fighting as usual.
Yes.
And Xander enters and again, like, he's seen sick of being the ref.
Yeah.
Willow goes over to and she like does a little like throws a little powder on the register, which was a stupid thing to like do a spell on. Yep. And it disappears. And they're like, oh my God, the money gone. And then Willow makes it come back and it's all like weird messed up, but the money's okay, which is all Anya cares about. The money's fine. Yeah. And they're like, can you believe her? Can you believe her, Xander? Can you believe her? And Xander's like, okay, look it. I am done being the ref between you two. You guys can work it out.
He's not a ref, so.
And he just walks out. He's mad.
No, and Tara says that they need to talk it out.
Yeah, and then Tara leaves too. She doesn't want to be around them.
No.
And they're just like, each other, alone with each other, all like mad. So, Willow keeps doing that spell. And Anya is in the back keeping track of the ingredients.
Cataloging every price.
12 cents. 10 for 12. And yeah, Willow's like, will you stop, please? Like, just...
Yeah. Or just do it quietly.
Just do it quietly. And so she's doing the spell, and she tells Anya, okay, you can't keep interrupting me, because once I do, this is a very delicate spell, and once I start, like, it's delicate, so you could, like, throw it all off balance. So she starts, and Anya keeps interrupting her.
Yeah, this was really annoying.
Yeah, this was, like, Anya 100% need to shut up.
Yep.
And then Willow gets like frustrated, turns to her and starts like, why are you doing that? Like, stop. And then you see the spell start like sparking and like growing, like it's being messed up. And it like expands, it goes past like a crystal, and then boop, there's a troll standing there. And of course they start screaming. The troll has like a big hammer. Smashing poor Giles' brand new shop. God. Trashes the place and just runs out the front door.
Yep. Great. Good job, guys.
So Buffy and Tara are at school. It's a new semester. And Buffy said she would have to take a few incompletes previously. But she'll survive the semester. So now it's a new semester. She's back in school. And she's like, I really need this class to work. Because the only other option was like South American geopolitics. Or Central America. And she's like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. So then Tara talks to Buffy about the kind of triangle situation that's going on, and Buffy's like, Anya and Xander broke up. She's like, no, I'm not saying they broke up. There was just a little argument, but they're fine. She's like, oh my god, they can't break up. She starts crying. Obviously, she's very sensitive.
This is a little much. I felt like,
yeah, she's extremely emotional right now. Yep. It doesn't. She's holding,
but it's
trying to hold Anya and Xander. Yeah, no, I agree. But she's like trying to hold Anya and Xander, like she's trying to hold them up out of her misery. Like, I'm gonna save them. I'll do everything to I'm gonna give my attention to them so they can protect them at all costs. Yeah. And then in Giles' car, Anya and Willow are chasing the just devastation.
The demon thing, yeah. Oh my god,
the troll is leaving.
Yikes.
But
they're still fighting.
They didn't
realize that their fight was what caused this in the first place, dum-dums.
And then, Willow's trying to go through a spell book. Pages are flying out of Giles' car. Anya says she doesn't know how to drive. And she's driving the car.
Great.
But I didn't remember this, but the internet reminded me. Remember when Anya came to Xander and was like, we can leave town before the mayor and everything? She's like, let's get in my car and go.
Oh, you're right.
So... she's like, this is my first time driving. Well, no, it wasn't. Anyway. Thank you, Internet, for reminding me of that connection. Right. And she doesn't know how to drive. And Willow's like, what? You don't know how to drive? And they just continue bickering, following,
they're being
messed
ridiculous.
Up cars and everything, yeah. So at the Bronze, Xander is wallowing his sorrows in a thing of peanuts. And he
runs into
Spike.
Who else than Spike? Yes.
Spike's like, hey man, what's up? And Xander's like, leave me alone. And he's like, hey, how's Buffy doing? She just holding grudges against people. He's just like, Buffy's mad at me. I gotta find out if she's mad at me. And yeah, he fishes for information on Buffy. And he's like, no, Buffy's fine. What are you talking about? Buffy's fine. I don't care. What are you talking about? And he's like, no, this has nothing to do with Buffy. But he's fishing. And so back at the magic box, Tara and Buffy arrive because they were going to go get Willow.
They noticed that something went awry.
Yeah, because the place is destroyed and Tara and Anya are nowhere to be seen. Yep. So they run. They're like, okay, they couldn't have been gone long. This thing was leaving a trail. Let's go. And they run out of the door to follow the trail. So in Maple Court, the troll's just walking down making chaos. He's smashing dumpsters. People are just running. People are screaming. And then he smells ale. And he's like,
it smells delicious.
It smells good. So it brings him probably to the area of the Bronze. Mm-hmm. So they go back into the Bronze. And shockingly, 2 Scoobies this season have played pool with Spike so far.
Spike is going to be a Scooby soon, I feel like.
Spike and Xander are playing pool. And Xander is spilling about the Anya and Willow thing. He's like, she's my girlfriend. She's my best friend. They made me want to choose. They fight all the time. I can't be in the middle of it. And he's torn. And Spike is still fishing for Buffy's information about Buffy. He's like, so what does Buffy think about this? Like, and I like when Xander says, oh yeah, sometimes Willow will give me that look about Anya, like, what do you see in her? He's like, oh yeah, a lot of people didn't get Drew too. And he's like, well, she was insane.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, Xander's like, Spike says, I know that look. A lot of people didn't get Drew. Like, commiserating about their weird girlfriends. Yeah, and Spike's like, well, what does Buffy think? Does she have other things on her mind? And like, yeah, he's definitely fishing still. And then a troll runs into Spike, and he's like, hey, watch it. And he's like, oh, you know what? Never mind. You're good. Like, he's like twice his size. Spike is a arrogant person, but he knows when he
knows his limits.
He knows his limits, yeah. He's like, actually, just don't, yeah, go do whatever you want. It's fine. And so the troll like grabs like a big like keg and like starts drinking out of it and everything. And they try to talk to him like, hey man, like we'll get you some food, we'll get you some more ale and everything. And he's like, how about some babies? And how about some sweet succulent babies to eat? Yeah. And then Xander's like, oh no, how about no? How about no? And I like when Spike's like, they have this onion thing. Like he tries to recommend his favorite things at the Bronze to to Olaf. That's his name. We come to find out. And yeah, they're just trying to like keep him under wraps. And Anya and Willow show up, and then quickly Tara and Buffy show up. So everyone shows up. Willow's trying to do a spell that doesn't work, and we find out that Olaf says, oh, witches, you guys are like disgusting. Like some witches put me in that crystal that he got released from. And he turns out that he is Anya's ex. He's like, you were just as like bad as like when we dated in Yanka. And everyone's like, crickets. What? Excuse me? And Anya's like, yeah. Sorry about that. Like, yeah, and they're all pretty shocked. So we find out that Olaf cheated on her when he was a person. Yeah. And that she turned him into a troll, and because of that, she got the gig as the Vengeance Demon. That got the attention of what is his name? D'Hoffryn. And that's how she got her gig as a Vengeance Demon. So he was imprisoned in that crystal, and then we got released because the spell went awry. Yep, so Buffy's like, okay, the spell didn't work. I'm going to beat you up, basically. So she starts fighting him. Buffy and Spike jump in and fight.
It's too strong.
He like knocks Spike down. He knocks Buffy into him. And if you notice that Spike is copping a feel when Buffy's trying to get up. He's like, totally didn't notice that. Grabbing on her.
That's funny.
Like she's trying to get up, and he's like, oh yeah, like I'm helping you up. I'm like, whatever. And he's like touching her. I'm like, oh my God. And he gets up. He's like, hey.
Oh my God.
You even watch that scene again? Yeah.
We'll have to.
That shot, he's like, it's such a freak. Yeah, so the troll has his hammer. He's like hitting all these like support beams and everything.
Yeah,
he
takes like the upper.
I call it the mezzanine. Like
okay, sure, yeah, it just comes down.
The balcony, the mezzanine, or whatever. Sure, it collapses, and like people are hurt, like really hurt. And the troll like just goes out the door. He takes off, and they're trying to help people so Buffy can run after him. And Spike is helping this woman become comfortable, and he wants credit for not drinking these people's blood. Yeah. And Buffy's like, ew, no, you're not getting credit for this. And he's like, what else can I do for you, woman?
How can I get into your good graces?
Yeah. But she's disgusted by him that he would even think he should get credit for that. So at the magic box, they just told Anya and Willow to like leave and like get a spell that works. So they're at the magic box. Guess what they're doing? Arguing while looking for spells. And then we get to the root of their issues here.
Finally, yes.
Yeah. Willow thinks that Anya will hurt Xander either by a vengeance thing or breaking up with him or just hurting him emotionally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Anya's like, I would never do that. Like, I can't believe you'd think I would ever do that to him. I would never do that. And then she's like, well, what about you? You know, Anya thinks that Willow would
still like
come on to Xander and like poison Xander against her. Yeah. She's like, I know the whole reason I came into this whole situation is because you and Xander cheated with each other. on Cordelia, and Cordelia like they made the wish. So I know all about what happened. You know what I mean?
And Willow's like, I'm gay now.
Yeah,
so.
I'm gay, and I would never do that. Like, I would never do that again. And so they're kind of getting this all like off their chests. Like, what really is the issue here? And then Olaf shows up because he's like, I knew you two were gonna be like looking for a spell to like get rid of me. And so he throws them both over the counter. And Xander runs in. He's like, leave them alone. And yeah, and he beats up Xander for a little bit. But then he's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to make you choose.
And Xander keeps getting up, though.
Yeah. It's sweet because like Xander like knows there's no way in hell he can beat this troll, but he still goes for him full force to like save or at least distract him from Anya and Willow. Loves them, yeah. So Olaf says, okay, you get to choose which of them I kill.
Yeah.
And he's like, I won't choose. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to kill you then. I'm going to kill Xander. And then Anya's like, no, me, like, don't hurt him and everything. While Willow is trying to, like, do a spell in the background. So they're kind of, like, buying time a bit. Oh, and the troll also breaks Xander's arm or wrist.
Something, so
yeah, like breaks his arm.
I thought it was his finger?
It's definitely his, like, arm or his wrist. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, not sure which. I think it's his arm. So Buffy gets in there and starts fighting Olaf. Willow has Anya distract Olaf while she does the spell by like insulting him. And I don't remember when they found out that the power was in his hammer, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the power out of the hammer. And she starts yelling insults at him. She's like your yell is
emasculates him.
Yeah, she emasculates him. He's like, and she's like, your yell is less than full-throated.
They're like, weird things. Yeah,
you're even a worse boy. You're even a worse troll than you were a boyfriend. And like, and he's like, like it's really getting to him. It's working. So Willow does the spell. And it takes him his power away. And Buffy's like, okay, now it's... And then he still just slams her across the...
Oh, yeah. Because he's still a troll.
And she's like, yeah, he still has troll strength. Sorry. And she's like... Buffy's like, what the hell? Like, I thought he was going to be, like, easy to defeat now. That was funny. Buffy's like, man, what? What the heck? And he says to Anya and Xander that they won't last. And this rallies Buffy. She's like, hell no. How dare you say that? They are going to leave forever. Their love is forever. And so she beats the shit out of him because that got her. That triggered her.
Send them back to the land of trolls.
They think.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. In the region.
Somewhere north of there or something.
Oh, yeah. Maybe where the world there's no shrimp. But sending somebody to an alternate dimension is kind of like trying to hit a puppy with a live bee. So they sent him in the general direction, but hopefully he's like lives happily in a world of trolls. Yeah.
And Buffy gets his hammer thingy.
Yeah, and she's like, ooh, and I get this fun souvenir. I like she puts it on the like cabinet, like the glass cabinet, and it just collapses in, and they're like, well, the whole place is destroyed anyway, so it was blamed on the
Giles.
Troll. Yeah. And then Buffy's like, I'm so happy you guys are okay and alive and in love, and then she just cries.
Yeah.
She cries.
A lot of crying.
Yeah, a lot of crying from Buffy in this episode. She's trying to keep it together, but she's got her weak points there. It gets to her. So at Buffy's, Giles comes back and is like, oh God, he was only gone for 3 days.
Yeah, poor Giles.
He was supposed to be gone for a week, and he had to come back after 3 days.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, he's like, what am I going to do? Like, okay. And they're at Buffy's, and then Joyce comes in and like gives them tea and everything, and Giles kind of debriefs them and says the council is going to look into Glory,
they
don't know anything.
No.
And they kind of talk about Dawn, which was stupid.
Yeah,
Dawn's in the same freaking
upstairs.
house. Why they talked about it so frankly, it was dumb.
Well, because I guess they needed to, so Dawn could overhear them.
Yeah, it was. Just, it was dumb. I just thought it was too easy for her over here. Oh. And Joyce is like, I just can't believe I can't believe she's not my little girl and all of this. And Giles does find out, Joyce says, I figured out a lot for myself, but then Buffy filled me in. So now Joyce, these three are the only ones that know the whole story out of everybody. Which honestly, I think they're the three that should know. I think right now, like, I don't think anybody else needs to know or should know, honestly. But the problem is Dawn has snuck downstairs, or she didn't even sneak. She was just coming down the stairs, and I think overhears this, so she knows something's up. They didn't say exactly that she's not human.
No, yeah,
but something's going on with her.
Weird. Yeah.
Something's going on, so she overhears enough to cause a problem.
Yeah,
and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So no, Dawn is going to be asking questions and looking under rocks. That
very curious.
Don't end well, I'm sure, for a already, problematic teenager.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my favorite quote was by Buffy. She says, Giles, don't talk about the books again. You get all, and sometimes there's drool. And then my favorite scene was the last scene with Dawn listening, and also with like that whole with them at the table and stuff talking. Yeah, there wasn't a lot. Honestly, I had a hard time thinking of a scene that I liked in this episode.
Yeah, which is why when you said you liked this episode, I was like, what?
I just felt like the best episode. I just like one I find rewatching because it's like very self-contained. Okay, and it's funny. Fair. I think it is funny, and yeah, but it's not like the best episode of the season or anything. I just think it's like it's a very Buffy episode with like the troll and everything. I think it's funny. Yeah, I think that last scene with them kind of like doing their little confab, and then John listening is a big deal.
Yeah. So. My favorite quote was when they were in the bronze and like the troll guy ended up hurting some people, and like Spike is supposed to try to make that person comfortable, and Buffy's like, you want credit for not beating off bleeding disaster victims? Yeah. That made me laugh. Yeah. He's just like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm a vampire. I'm an evil, soulless demon. Yeah, I do want credit for it. Like, you disgust me.
And then I guess my favorite scene, again, yeah, you're right. There's not really a lot to pick from, but I guess when like Willow and Anya finally hashed it out and realized where each other was coming from. That was like, okay, I'm glad they finally figured that out because their like petty arguments were really getting on my nerves.
Yeah. Yeah, and they had serious like worries about each other. And now it's kind of like, oh, and we didn't even really mention at the end of the episode, they kind of like were like, Willow's not gonna hurt. Willow's not gonna like come between us. And then he's like, like, that's fine. We like got to the bottom of our issues now. And they're like all hugging on Xander and stuff. So we forgot to mention that. So they came to like their, that's probably what was a more important scene.
They resolved the issue.
For the episode anyway. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the reason my difference of the feeling of the last two episodes was because I just find this episode way more entertaining than Into the Woods, even though Into the Woods is probably more I feel like Into the Woods just,
like there was a lot of stuff that was culminating over the past few episodes in this brought a resolution to things.
Yeah, you're true. You're speaking truth. You're spitting facts. I don't ever really rewatch other than being rewatched Into the Woods because I'm like, this is so Riley heavy.
That's true. It's not a good rewatch episode. I will give you that.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't want to rewatch it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're also working out our like feelings.
Like, no more petty arguments for us. What's your stake rating?
Okay. I give it a 4.2 because I think it's a fun rewatch. I do rewatch it more often. Okay. But I had very little to say about it. I put fun episode, like Olaf.
Great.
I think Olaf was funny. I think it was so funny that like he was Anya's ex. Like that came out of freaking nowhere.
That was funny, yeah.
I like how they are like, well, you cheated on me. Well, in my heart there was only one wench.
That was so dumb. Oh my god.
Doesn't matter if I'm getting my leg over somebody else. It doesn't matter. It's just physical, Anyanka. Yeah. And I love that we get a little bit of more Anya's like backstory because we find out that doing that, like him cheating on her, that was how she got the job of a vintage demon because she turned him into a troll. And I like when Xander also was like, but yeah, you're really mad at her, but like you seem to like being a troll.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I adjusted. It's just a fun rewatch episode. That's why I give it a higher rating.
I gave it a 3.8.
We're not wildly off. We're only 4.4 off.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I didn't have much to say about it at all. What you said already. I like that Anya and Willow finally resolved their issues, but honestly, I was just really getting annoyed over the whole episode when they were just arguing so pettily. Like, it was getting on my nerves.
It was like literally the whole episode.
Yeah, I was so over it. Also, the other thing that really got on my nerves was Buffy being so over the top cheesy. I was just like, come on. I feel like with this breakup and the way she's acting in this episode, I couldn't identify with that at all. I was just like, she's just being weird. I don't know. Like, I want her to work through her things, and if this is how she's going to do it, that's great. But this just seems weird.
Yeah. I guess they were trying to like have her grieve, but in a very lighthearted episode.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So they like maybe overdid it.
They definitely overdid it. Yeah. And I am curious to know what happens with Dawn. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is a very interesting question for next week. Kimmy's question for Checkpoint. What is Glory?
What? What is she?
Mm-hmm.
She's a demon.
Okay.
But like, what kind of demon?
You can say demon.
Okay, I will say demon, but like also like, okay, so like the guy last episode was a troll, right? Which is kind of a demon, I guess. I don't know. And we had the alien. Oh, okay. We had the alien. We had vampires.
That was a demon. The alien
vampires
was a demon.
Are demons. Okay, yes. Vampires are also demons. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me say this. So there's the umbrella of demon, and then there's lots of things underneath that. But there's also we've had ghosts.
Yeah.
Which are not demons. Mm-hmm. Stuff under that. So there could be other umbrellas as well, or she could be any of those.
I wonder what else she could be, because she's like super old. What else is super old? Like mummies? That doesn't make sense. She's not a mummy.
And we've done the mummy, if you remember.
Yeah, that's true. We have done
Mummy
the mummy
Girl.
Yeah, that's right. That was a good episode. Or that was like a good demon or whatever. I guess I'll go with demon, because I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I guess we're gonna find out in this episode, are we? Oh, okay.
That would be annoying if I was like, what is she? And you're like, okay, we'll find out in like 10 episodes. That would be annoying. All right, so that wraps up season 5, episode 11, Triangle. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl and All the World Pod. You can also email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back next week with season 5, episode 12, Checkpoint. See you real soon.
Bye.